Okay, I'm going to show you now a quick tutorial on the difference between importing versus desktop annotating. Most of us know how to desktop annotate, and it's very simple to do. We use it, but there are a couple of downsides to doing so. Just to kind of remind you of what that is, for desktop annotating, let's say you want to go to another page and you want to be able to write on that page, you just come to the little box with the squiggly lines, which is right here, and you would click on it. I have already pulled up this page here in the grammar book for us to work in. Okay, let's say I want to work on this page right here, and pull up my tools again, and you see how whenever you scroll the tools disappear. All you have to do is hit the little icon here and then it pulls the tools back up. So let's say I want to be able for the students to go over their homework and I want to put it up on the board. We pick out the pen tool and they have to write either S or F next to each sentence, whether it's a complete sentence or a fragment. I can see that this first sentence, Tony and Beth went hiking in the woods yesterday. That's a complete sentence, so they would write S. Works just fine until you go to scroll. And when you scroll down, look what happens. Get back on my selection tool. The S stays in place while the page moves down. So your annotations do not move with it. So every time you need to scroll, it forces you to have to come in here and clear the annotations. And it's kind of a pain. Another quick downside as far as bogging down your memory, if you look up here in the page numbers, I have a 200-page book that's open in my RAM. And so it's a pretty big file, and that's going to slow everything down, especially with some of us that are working with dinosaur computers, and they're not very rich on our temporary memory. So if you open up the whole page and just use that desktop annotation, that's a lot to have open in your temporary memory. So I want to show you another way to do this. This is a PDF document, and any kind of PDF documents you can do this with. I know the entire 6th grade instructional navigator is all in PDF documents. A lot of other ones that we work with are as well. So I'm going to get out of this desktop annotating, and I'm going to go back here. And what I want to do instead, let's say that I worked on pages 1 through 4 for 1 week's homework. I would import that week's homework into one flip chart. And it's so simple to do. All you do is you come into File, and you're going to go down to right here. It says Import, and then if you come over here, you have all these options. You're going to go down to PDF. You select PDF. And then it's going to go in where you have to navigate where it is. A lot of people have it on their desktops, or you might have it in your documents, but you should know right where it is. I know where mine is. It's in here. And I'm going to go into the grammar practice book. Okay, so now I've got this dialog box up. And instead of importing all pages, I'm going to import from page to page. Now, I want to work on pages 1 through 4. You have to be careful to note that page 1 here will not necessarily correlate to page 1 in the book. So I'm going to go back to my document for a second, and I'm going to look at it. If you see on here, and let me pull this size down just a little bit. Okay, if you see right here it says page 1, but if you look up here, this is page 9 of 200. So 9 is the same as page 1. I go down to my next page. Sorry, wrong button. Let me go. Yeah, there we go. Page 2 correlates to page 10. Page 3 correlates to page 11. And page 4 correlates to page 12. So I know I want to import pages 9 through 12. Not page 1 through 4, page 9 through 12. So now I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to say from pages 9 through 12. Import. And voila, now this is a flip chart. It's its own flip chart, and it has the pages that I want in here. And it'll import it at its original size. I need it to be a little bigger so that the students can see it. So instead of up here in this box saying best fit, I'm going to say fit to width, and it's huge. Or I could say fit to height. Or I could go by percentages. Let's go 150%. That's probably a good size right there. And you can see it's pretty clear. It's a nice size. Now, let's look at what happens when I go to write. I'm going to get my pen tool, and I'm going to write an S. And then when I scroll, because it's a flip chart, the annotations stay right with the document, no matter where I move. And now instead of having 200 pages open, this is one flip chart with only 4 pages, and it's much smaller file size. Okay? And as I said, you can do this with any of the any PDF file. Now what happens if, let's say, you have a Word document? What will you do? Well, let me show you. Let me get back on my selection tool. And I want to get out of this, minimize, and I'm going to go into this Word document that I pulled up. And here are some questions from my side of the mountain, vocabulary, words, and questions. It's a Word document. Well, there's not an option to import a Word document onto into a flip chart, but what you can do is you can come into here where it says File, and you're going to say Save As, and when you say Save As, you have all these options, and look right there. Instead of saving it as a Word document, I'm going to save it as a PDF. Now, this whole thing is a PDF document. Okay? And it should be in my same location that I just had that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close this out. I'm going to go back into there. And now I'm going to import navigate back where I had it. My side of the mountain, right here, that's the little PDF document right there. And this time, because it's one Word file and it's only 3 pages, I'm going to go ahead and import all. And now, my side of the mountain, if I want to go over the questions on the board, is now in a PDF document. Go ahead and pull it up to 150%, and there you go. That is how you import versus desktop annotating.